So, the news reports started trickling in on Thursday. They didn't release his name or the brutality of the crime. All that was said was that there was a man, a Laramie man, who had been beaten, basically out on the prairie. It wasn't until later when they said his name, and it was like, that can't be the Matthew Shepard that I know. That can't be my student. That's not this boy that I've been meeting with.
So I'm talking to my sister on the phone, and that's when the whole story came up on Channel 5 News. And it was just like, boom!
More and more of the details came in. University of Wyoming student, his age, his description, and then it just hits you. It's like, oh my God.
And John, oh, I felt sick to my stomach. It's just instantly sick to my stomach. And I had to tell Romaine. Yes, it was Matthew. It was your friend.
What's up here? Come on. Our focus today turns to Laramie, Wyoming, and the Albany County Courthouse, where Aaron James McKinley and Russell Henderson have been charged with the brutal beating of Matthew Shepard, a gay University of Wyoming student.
See, my secret hope was that they were from someone else. Then you could create the distance. You don't grow children like that around here. Well, it's pretty clear we do grow children like that around here.
More and more of the details came out about the brutality, the motivations. How could this happen? And then, quite frankly, the media descended, and no one had any time to reflect on it anymore.
Laramie, Wyoming, often referred to as the gem city of the plains, is now in the eye of the storm. Although the cowboy state has its share of yahoos, for sure, there are no more bigots per capita in the state than there are in New York, Florida, or California. The only difference is, it is difficult to blend on the plains if you're anything other than prairie stock.
Aaron McKinley and his friend Russell Henderson grew up on the poor side of town. Both are from broken homes and as teenagers had run-in with the law. They live in trailer parks and scratch out a living working at fast food restaurants and fixing roofs.
As a gay Wyoming college student lay hospitalized after a severe beating, this small town, which bills itself as Wyoming's hometown, now has to wrestle with their attitudes toward gay men.
Most people would like to think that what happened to Matthews was an exception to the rule. But it was an extreme version of what happens in our schools on a daily basis.
It's a tough business, as Matthew Shepard and all his friends knew, to be gay in cowboy country. For Channel 5 News, I'm Belinda Burwell.
It was huge. I mean, we're talking herds, hundreds of reporters. That makes a huge dent on this town's population. I mean, there were reporters everywhere. News trucks everywhere on campus, everywhere in town. We're just not used to that type of exposure.
I mean, these people are predators. Like this one journalist actually caught one of the judges in the bathroom at the urinal and was like asking him questions. The judge was of course like, "Excuse me, can I please have some privacy?" But the journalist was like offended that he asked for privacy. I mean, this is not how journalism started. Like the Gutenberg Press, you know?
I'll tell you what, when Hard Copy came to visit me and they interviewed me, I taped them at the exact same time, so I have every word I ever said on camera. In case they try anything funny, you better watch that fucking ass.
Governor Jim Geringer, a first-term Republican up for re-election.
I am outraged and sickened by the heinous crime committed on Matthew Shepard. I extend my heartfelt sympathies to the family.
Governor, you've never pushed hate crime legislation in the past.
I would like to urge the people of Wyoming against overreacting in a way that gives one group special rights over others. We will wait and see if the vicious beatings and torture of Matthews was motivated by hate.
We now talk to Sergeant Hain, head of the Laramie Police Department.
You got the whole news story in here. And they've got in the background murder in Wyoming. And Wyoming's dripping red like it's got blood on it or something. And it's like, what is this? This is sensationalism. And we're here going, wait a minute. We got the guys in jail in less than a day. I think that's pretty damn good.
And for us to be more or less maligned that this is not a town of good people. And that's just not the way it is. This community's full of good people.
You get bad apples once in a while. And the gay community took this as an advantage. Said it was a good time to exploit this.
We now turn to Bill McKinney, father of Aaron McKinney, one of the accused.
Well, I'll tell you something. That'd been a heterosexual those boys decided to go out and rob. This never would have made national news. Now my son's guilty before he's even had a trial.
Look, I do think that the media did make people accountable. Because it made people think. Because people were sitting in their homes, watching TV, watching CNN, listening to Dan Rather and going, Jesus Christ, well, that's not how it is here. Well, how is it here?